Encore Revival, America, January 30, 2017. Obama supporters have finally decided that overuse of executive orders is a bad thing. Too bad for them that many of Trump's executive orders merely undo Obama's executive orders. Trump finally adopted Obama's policy of federal intervention where local police fail, though Obama probably never thought of it happening where it was most needed, such as his own backyard in Chicago. Trump was elected in response to Obama. Obama's policies, mostly by mere executive order, not only couldn't last, they backfired. Anti-Trumpists still have not learned the important lesson of life. Good or bad, right or wrong, whatever you build needs to last. If Trump harms America, Obama supporters have no one to thank but their own president, who rolled out the red carpet for Trump as much as Bush rolled out the red carpet for Obama. The cycle only seems to continue, with very few people getting wise to what's going on. All that Russia interfered jazz morphed into Democrats calling for investigations of voter fraud, which is likely to indict both parties. We can't know how much voter fraud there truly was, since asking for photo ID at an election isn't legal, thanks to the same Democrats who are asking for an investigation. That makes no sense, except in Washington. The elephant in the living room is the golden brick highway paved to today's crisis. A Hawaiian congresswoman told CNN that Obama was funding ISIS in Syria. Trump's ban only affects people coming from 7 countries that Obama's DHS and U.S. Congress decided sponsor terrorism: Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Syria, Iraq, Iran, and Yemen. These countries were not chosen by Trump, but under Obama. Trump's order only names Syria, based on what Syrian refugees have done in other places they have gone to. A federal judge made a very small exception to Trump's sweeping executive order. People with pre-approved papers who arrived on airplanes won't be sent back immediately. This action affects very few people and confronts none of Trump's campaign principles. Affected green card holders will be allowed to leave the U.S. and return, but need to visit a U.S. consular first. Protests against Trump's orders are mounting. Some saw the judge's order as a victory against Trump's goals. A sheriff in Travis County, Texas, has refused to cooperate with the state's request, which are mainly aimed at not releasing people who entered the country legally and are sought by U.S. immigration after they are arrested and in custody for a local crime. Travis County receives just shy of $2 million from the state in law enforcement grants, but the sheriff says that she has neither the priority nor the authority to comply with the requests from federal and state governments to hand over sought-after illegals already in her custody. As fast as Trump wants to build his wall, he will have difficulty breaking Russia's record in Berlin. Mexico's president canceled his meeting with Trump once Trump tweeted that paying for the wall was a requirement. President Nieto told his people that Mexico must protect its interests, which apparently includes being able to cross into the U.S. at non-border crossings. Building the wall would not change the number of entry points, and if anything, it could create more entry points since patrolling the border would be easier. Canceling the meeting won't change anything. A presidential candidate can skip out on one of an excessive number of televised presidential debates and still win the nomination and the election. But a sitting president can't skip out on a meeting when his presence has been requested by a nation whom his own citizens are persistently entering illegally when that nation is about to rip up a trade agreement. The meeting with Trump was not going to negotiate whether Mexico will pay for the wall to contain its own people, but how Mexico will pay for the wall to contain its own people. By not attending, Mexico's president is leaving that decision to President Donald J. Trump. which might have been exactly what Trump wanted in the first place. Now, Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim wants to step in. From the Office of the United States Trade Representative, Mexico is currently our third largest goods trading provider with $531 billion in total two-way goods trade during 2015. Goods exports totaled $236 billion. Goods imports totaled $295 billion. The U.S. goods trade deficit with Mexico was $58 billion in 2015. The story compares to the rich old uncle who told his nephew, "No, you're going to pay for the repairs to my barn you burned down, or you might as well not even ask me to buy you another car." The kid ran home to his daddy, who said, "No, you're going to talk with your uncle about his barn. I'm calling my brother, and you'd better be here when I do." By asking to step in to negotiate between the U.S. and Mexico, billionaire Carlos Slim has proven in Mexico what Trump proved in the U.S. People with actual business experience know more about getting things done than politicians. Maybe he wants to run for president in Mexico. Or maybe he doesn't want his own business empire to be at the mercy of a much younger president who can't hold two candles to the adults in the room. It seems that America isn't the only country dealing with brats who complain all the time, repeat perfectly what they hear on TV, but can't put a roof over their own heads. There's nothing wrong with not having money, as long as you don't lecture the people who do. Encore. Revival is returning to America.